Welcome back to Your Hour. I'm being joined now by Jennifer Sevits and Phyllis Abraham. And did I say your name right?
You did. Good job.
Okay. These ladies are with the Lebanese dinner that is going on this weekend.
At St. George Cathedral.
So tell me about this. Tell me about the history.
Well, it's the 86th year that we've done this, but that doesn't mean it started 86 years ago. The roots of it started close to 100 years ago. In 1921, the Daughters of the American Revolution invited several Syrian women from what is now St. George Cathedral to be a part of a group called the Wichita Syrian American Women's Organization.
Okay.
And it was a symbiotic group in which the Americans would teach the Syrians English, and the Syrian women would show them their intricate needlework and their foods.
Yeah, the
and
food.
So
that's the biggie.
This exchange of ideas really got the American women thinking, and they said, you really should offer this food to the public. It's delicious. We've never had something like this. Now, these days we can get hummus at a hockey game.
Yeah.
But back then, they didn't know what hummus was. They didn't know what baklava was. They had no idea what kibbeh was. So the women took them up on it, and they had their first dinner at the YWCA, and they didn't even know if anybody would come, to be honest. And it turns out they had 100 people show up, and they turned a profit. And the men in the congregation had an idea. They didn't have a church building.
That's right.
They said, I think our women can help us secure a church building. Let's have more of these dinners so that we could have a church of our own someday, a building in which to worship. And so that is the start of the big dinner.
Yeah.
Now we serve 5,600 people is what we're
wow.
prepared for this weekend.
I was going to ask that. That's good.
Back
One
then,
time we did 5,900.
Wow.
that's right.
I think that was in 2017.
Back
That's
then,
incredible.
they would prepare the night before, Phyllis was telling me.
Yes.
Now we start in June.
Really? Wow. So, and this is all handmade. This is all homemade by
Homemade
the
by
women here.
yes,
Or,
by our
and not
church.
just the women, is it?
No, we have men that come and help. Thank goodness we have them helping because they lift the heavy stuff, and it's really quite exciting. Everybody's excited for a work day.
Yes.
Because we get to see each other. We've been in a pandemic for so long
Yeah.
that we haven't really communicated with a lot of people.
That's right.
So this is a late and have fun, and they have enjoyed working, and that is they're precious.
Yeah.
It's been 2 years since we've had this dinner.
Oh, wow.
And we've heard from so many people. We are so glad you're back. In fact, we're selling tickets left and right. It's going to be a great time. When we began planning in June, we thought that we would be able to invite people into our dining room. We've done some amazing renovations, which is why we didn't have it 2 years ago.
Right.
We closed for our renovations of our fellowship hall, where we normally have the dining room. So we were excited to invite people back in. And then when August hit, we realized with the numbers of COVID, we're not going to be able to do that. So we're doing something unique this year. We're going to do it all out in the drive-thru. So we plan to serve 5,600 meals out the door. And we've been modeling our plan out of Chick-fil-A.
Oh, okay.
Going to their drive-thrus
Yeah.
and taking notes to see how they run an effective drive-thru. So don't worry. You will get your food in a timely manner, and we're super excited to serve you. Part of having this dinner, the people at St. George are so hospitable.
Very hospitable.
And so it was disappointing for us to not be able to invite people into our church because hospitality is such a part of what we do with the dinner. So we are going to be the most drive-thru you've ever been in this weekend.
In 2019, a gentleman sent a letter to the church and said, I've been to many church functions. None of them have been as hospitable as your church.
Isn't that gratifying?
He gave us a donation.
Very nice. So how much are tickets?
$20.
Okay. And then how do we get the tickets, or can we get them there?
You can get them as you drive through.
Okay.
If you don't have tickets, we'll sell tickets then.
Okay.
Or run by the church and purchase your tickets.
Okay. Very cool. And that's cheap at half the price, or at twice the price, because those meals are a labor of love,
They are.
but they are labor.
They are a labor, but they are, I mean, everybody loves doing it. They love making the grape leaves that we have sold through, that's usually a country kitchen item. And we've sold through pre-orders, and then we have, of course, our cabbage rolls and our kibbeh and our green beans over rice.
Oh,
We have
yeah.
our salad and our batlewa, and everything is authentic. Everything is the same recipe as we've had for many, many years.
Say that word again for the dessert.
Okay, batlewa. It was very exciting to learn how it was done. The women would gather around the.
We're not going to have time to go into
Okay,
that.
anyway, they would use the palm of their hand to stretch the dough, and that's how it was built.
We don't roll the dough anymore. We're serving 5,600 compared to their 100, but it's still just as delicious.